we are on top of the tiny house today, tearing this thing apart for two reasons. One, we need to get rid of it. Two, nobody wanted to come in and move the thing. It was too tall. We're gonna have to get a bunch of permits to move it. We don't want to do any of that. So what we're going to do is deconstruct it and then put it back up. And you guys get to follow along and watch. It's not something we wanted to do, but it's something we get to do. So on top of all the other building that we're doing of the homestead back home, we now get to re-erect the tiny house, which will actually become a shop, no longer a tiny house, because tiny house living is not fun. It is not what it is cracked up to be. The brochure lied. No more tiny house living for us.
Country life is wild and dream, and it's becoming a part of me, alright. Woo!
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Day two. I'm going to show you the progress of what we've got going on. On day one, we were able to get all of the roof metal pulled off, stovepipe stuff pulled off, and then we've got most of the OSB pulled off of there, and then we've got most of the cedar pulled, nails pulled, but the cedar's still up there because it started raining. It hasn't rained. We haven't got rain for the spring. It's been insane. But of course, the days that we take the roof off the tiny house, we then get rain. So we left everything sitting up there, tarped it off with what we had, and now it's just sitting up there. So we got a nice day today. We're gonna tear all this stuff down, and then this whole thing will be roofless today. So we got a bunch of work done the first day. Today's just getting it off, restacked, ready to go, and then we got to move on to the next part. And so we've got to decide: are we going to start ripping out all of the siding and the windows? We definitely are going to take the roof trusses off. So this will be a big square box with no roof by the end of today for sure. We will probably get to pulling off all the siding, pulling out the windows as well, totally just leaving this stuff exposed. And we'll go inside really quick and I'll show you guys, because the rain came through, soaked a bunch of cedar roofing, but didn't do any damage in here. And I'll just kind of show you our plan of what we've got going on. Okay, so you can see all of the cedar in here, got a hole cut there. Luckily, Creed's little baby bath is catching all the water that came in. We've got the big cook stove that needs to come out. We've got the countertops, my custom countertops that I built in here. Those are detached, ready to go. We can probably get those today as well. So everything in here is ready to get taken down. Then we have to go through and start popping all of the cedar walls off. This is all T&G cedar. Luckily, it's just finish nailed, so it should pop right off, no problem. The stuff on the roof was hard nailed, but they're pulling up really well, so we haven't lost any cedar. I was thinking we'd come in here and lose the cedar and that we would not be able to reuse it, but so far we've destroyed no material. Even the OSB came up real easily without just gouging giant holes in, pulling the nails. So far it's been very successful. So this is a lot of work, got to get this off. One thing you can see right up above me here, you can see where the water's soaked in. We have a giant glue lamb for my ridge beam, because I chose to put that in there because I thought it looked cool. I think the thing's like 15 inches, totally overbuilt, but it is what I decided to use because, well, I didn't think I'd have to tear this thing down to move it. Figured it would be much easier to get it moved, but apparently we're 2 feet too wide to make people happy. So we're tearing it all apart. If you guys don't know, we actually built this tiny house on HGTV's Tiny House Big Livings. So it's a big part of our story. A lot of labor and love went into this thing. We built it to be extra beautiful with all the cedar T&G, with the big trusses there, the big 4x6 beams acting as our roof, and then the giant glue lamb over the top doing the same thing. We put a lot of character into this thing. So it's kind of befitting that we are taking it with us and not selling it. We went back and forth on selling it because of what it is. We did not want to sell it because we wanted this thing forever in our lives, and now it's going to be, because we're just going to rebuild it where we are now and repurpose it for what it is. So luckily for Shelby, because we are going to turn this thing into a shop at the new place where I'll be able to do some woodworking, I finished these cabinets in the old house. Shelby is getting these cabinets installed into the new place. Get them installed into the new place now, and then I can build cabinets, more of these, to finish out the kitchen in the new place. So it's working out, I think, the way it was supposed to work out, because now she gets more countertop space instantly. All right, it is time to get on the roof and get this stuff pulled off and get a bunch of stuff done. We've got long days out here, which is great. The weather's going back and forth. We had a little bit of sprinkle this morning, but I think we're supposed to have a nice rest of the week. So we have got to tear this thing entirely apart within about 5 to 6 days, which is a lot of work, but pretty cool. The flooring was all put in by Shelby. She did all of it herself. It's that pop-in, nice, hardy flooring, but we have to pull all of that stuff up, tear the walls off, and then I think we got to take everything down. We're trying to figure out a way to save the walls or save partial walls and be able to transfer them partially built. I think what we're going to wind up having to do is take window packages and door packages, cut them out of the walls, take those whole, but everything else is probably going to be stripped down to the last board, and then we'll just rebuild it at the new place. I don't think we're going to be able to cut any corners to make it more efficiently built. I don't really know the best way to move this thing, but just take it apart. I know how to take stuff apart. I know how to build it. So I'll just do what I know, take it apart, and then try to put the puzzle pieces back together and rebuild it.
Yep.
Top one.
Hey guys, quick little behind the scenes. When we put this in on HGTV, it never actually ever got put in. We faked it. Thunderstorms, and it's pouring. So we've got a roof back on here. A bunch of tarps that we had around the property that we are putting up to stop the bulk of the water from getting in here and ruining the flooring. There is a good bit of water still coming in. A few spots dripping through, which is cool. We're getting it taken care of. Shelby and the kids, a couple of the kids just left, so Deegan's here with me, pulling off that wall. So almost got this front wall of cedar off. It's dumping pretty good in here. These tarps just didn't quite make it. This is the back room where the bunk beds were. Got those taken down, and then working on taking these ones down, but right now they're holding all my tools. So we're gonna get this wall taken apart, that front wall taken apart, and that's probably gonna be about it for the evening because it is getting dark. We're gonna be getting rained on for a good bit. It looks like this evening, maybe just a couple hours. But by the time it quits raining, we're not gonna tear all this stuff down and continue. As you can see, there's still some roof up here that needs to be done. But we're running out of time, so we're just gonna leave it tarped for the night and then come back tomorrow early and continue ripping everything down and getting everything out. We were gonna take the kitchen cabinets. That was on the list of things to do, but we would have had to use tarps to get it back, which means we wouldn't have had tarps for the roof. So we just decided to keep the kitchen cabinetry in here for now, tarped, and it's about the only thing staying dry. So big ticket items, the stove, the kitchen cabinets, and then this wood stove down here, it's catching water. So those are the big items we got to work on, and then the rest is just pulling down all of this cedar siding, which is going pretty quick. Deegan just started on this. He's about halfway done. Got the big stuff going across. Now he's just got these little runs going down, so it'll go a lot faster. So once those are done, we'll start pulling drywall, or long day. We're gonna start pulling insulation out of the walls, wrapping those up in, I guess we're not gonna use that piece ever again. Wrapping those up in garbage bags and then taking them wrapped up nice and safe back so that we can reinstall insulation in the walls. But I don't think we're going to be reusing this cedar because I think it's going to be almost impossible to try and repiece this place back together. I might use some. I'm not totally sure, but it doesn't matter. Look, the key is to get it all out of here in the next week, basically, is all we have left. So we're making good progress, a little bit behind where I wanted to be. But we should be able to get in a pretty long day tomorrow and really catch up and get the majority of the bones showing in here. So it should just be down to studs, which is awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you're new and you want to follow along. We've got to get this thing tore down and then get it re-erected. So join us, follow us, watch us do it. See where it goes. We're going to turn it into something a little bit different once we get it back to the old or the new place. So if you want to see it, follow along. Thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.